Hey, once again, I want to welcome Havasu Scanner Feed and a couple of our volunteers for Havasu Scanner Feed who are going to take a little bit of a tour with us. I want to show you one of the 6 fire engines that are housed around Lake Havasu City. There's 6 fire stations in the community, and this is one of them. We're at fire station number 2 on Kiowa Boulevard, which is our training station. So just going to kind of give you, it's very informal, we're just going to kind of give you a tour around this engine. We kind of refer to our fire engines as just a big toolbox. The reason we do that is everything that we need, regardless almost of what type of call it is, we have the tools on here to take care of the emergency and to be able to mitigate that incident. So we'll work our way around. All of our engines are pretty much set up the same way. To kind of give you an idea of how the engines are staffed, I'm a captain with the fire department. We have the driver, who is the engineer, and then in the back we have our firefighters. So as we work our way around the engine, we go by where the driver sits, we go back by the rear of the cab. We'll let you kind of take a shot inside here, but this is just the back end of our cab, where the firefighters' gear and maps and different tools and things are. Everything is strapped down and secure. We walk by, what you see here is what's called the engineer's panel. Anytime that any water is needed to put out a fire, everything is controlled through this engineer's panel. We have different valves and whatnot that control the different hoses at different locations on the fire engine, different gauges and whatnot that the engineer can look at to give the right pressure to ensure that we have the right amount of water coming out based on the type of fire that we're going to try to put out. We open up our compartments. Again, like I told you, all of our engines are set up the same way. The nice thing about that is it ensures that regardless of what engine I'm working on, if I get sent to another fire station, we know that our engines are set up, they mirror one another. So we go by the first compartment, it's always the engineer's compartment. And inside this engineer compartment are all the different adapters and connections that the engineer needs to make whatever connection he needs to make happen, whether it's connecting to a fire hydrant or supplying another fire engine or supplying another hose line. Different adapters, road cones for safety, portable fire extinguishers. There's some foam stored in here that we have for any type of a flammable liquid fire. We go to the next compartment, we start working our way into our medical compartments, and we have medical restock supplies, different types of splints for medical injuries to the extremities like legs and arms and things like that. We've got a trauma bag, a pediatric bag. Different little compartments that we tuck things in. When they design these new fire engines, they really try to take advantage of all the space. This is just a spare air bottle for air packs, which I'll show you here in just a little bit. There's another one right here. Then we work our way to the back compartment, and this is our main medical compartment. When we go to a medical call, typically the majority of this equipment comes out. So the firefighters and the entire crew, once the apparatus stops at a medical emergency, we wait for the air brake to set, we get off, and we typically come back here and we grab our bags and we begin to proceed into whatever whether it's a home or an office or wherever. But all of these different bags have a special purpose. This is a box that our paramedics use. It's full of medications. We call it the drug box. It's just full of different medications that just the paramedics are able to use. They're certified to do that. An airway box, our heart monitor, which does a lot of different things. Our airway bag, spare air bottles, a suction unit. We have different calls whether somebody's has mouth trauma and they're bleeding. We can suction that blood out. If they've aspirated or different things like that, we can keep the airway clear to ensure that we're able to provide the right care. Just a lot of different medical equipment. So you can kind of see, so what you see here is if you were to go to another fire station and open up the compartments, it would mirror, it would be identical. Okay? Then we'll work our way around the back of the vehicle. And we keep all of the tools and equipment that are powered by gasoline all in the same compartment because of the fumes and things like that. So anything that has oils and gases, it's all in the same compartment. We have a chainsaw for doing rooftop ventilation on a structure fire. If we need to ventilate the roof, you've probably seen firefighters cutting holes in roofs and wondered why they're doing that. The whole idea behind that is to relieve or to release the heat and smoke out of the structure to make it easier for the firefighters to do search and rescue, and also make the environment a little more tenable for anybody that might be in there. Hydraulic rescue tools, everybody knows the term jaws of life, but this is essentially what that is. It's the hydraulic spreaders, gas-powered fan, and then this is the power unit that powers the different hydraulic tools. On the back of the fire engine is where we store all of our supply hose, what we call our supply hose, and then our working hose. The supply hose, as you see this is what we would use to connect to a fire hydrant and either send water to this engine, or this engine might supply another fire engine. So this is the supply hose that we would either take water from a fire hydrant or send water to another fire engine that's attacking the fire. So that's what that is. There's 1,000 feet of that on each engine. 2.5-inch working hose, a pre-connected, this is all 2.5, a pre-connected hose. Everything is set up for a special purpose, and that's one of the neat things about all of our engines. They're all set up pretty much identical. So, like I said earlier, it doesn't really matter which engine you're working on. We know where everything's at. Up top, we have a ladder rack. Those ladders will come down, and you're able to get to them. They end up being about chest height once you hit the button and electronically bring them down. Work our way around to the other side of the apparatus, and this compartment houses kind of a mix of things. We've got what we call cribbing down here, different types of cribbing blocks that we use at traffic accidents to stabilize vehicles. We have a lot of times we have vehicle rollovers, and we'll need to stabilize those vehicles so they don't move anymore, so we can go in and actually effect a rescue or extricate people out of them. So we'll use that in conjunction with some other tools that are on other rigs. Some hazmat equipment and different things to control some spills. Spare air bottles. Our firefighters, their hydrant bag. If they're going to hook a fire hydrant, they'll grab this bag and grab that line, go to a hydrant, and then the fire engine pulls away and goes to the fire. We leave the firefighter behind to connect that hydrant. So they grab that, what's called the hydrant bag. Toolbox, other things. Then a gear compartment. Okay, as you come around the side, it's a gear compartment. I was telling you about the ladder rack. You can see that actually ends up coming down. We need to get to those. There's a 14-foot roof ladder, and then there's a 35-foot extension ladder. So if we need to get to the second or third floor of a window or something, we can do that. Again, remember I was telling you about the storage. The engines are set up pretty well. Forcible entry equipment. This is all the different hand tools that we would use. Our tool of choice is called the TNT. It does several things. It chops. We can force here. We can pry with this end, as well as pulling ceiling on a low ceiling. We could use that to pull ceiling, to breach that ceiling line to check for extension if there was fire above us. So that's kind of become the tool of choice. But there's a lot of different tools in here that we use depending on the need. Electric fan, similar to the gas-powered fan that's in the back. Our most important thing, water. We drink water all day long. Going back to my message earlier, hydrate. A high-rise pack, just covers and different things that we use at different fire scenes. And then we come around to the other side. These are the same hose lines that were on the other. It's called a pre-connect, or it's called a cross-lay. So I can pull this off either side of the engine. So regardless of what side the house fire, the business is on, we can pull up and we can pull that hose off either side. Then we just come back around the other side, and we can see the back end of where the firefighters sit. And that is a call that's going out.